Hello, 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 hello. I am back. This is your stitchy friend from the Philippines. This is James, the PH teacher. Welcome back, or welcome me back here in the Flosstube world. This is Flosstube number 38, and this is my 2023 mid-year whip parade, and also my second year Flosstuversary. So it has been 2 years that I have been making videos, sharing my whips to everyone. I've started this channel last July 31, uh, 2021. So, unfortunately, July 31 this year is a Monday and it's a working day and I can't film it. So, I decided to film today, which is July 29, and this will serve as my celebration or a tribute for my 2 year existence here in the Flosstube world. So in the past 2 years, it was an amazing and wonderful uh, journey, especially making friends with some of our fellow Flosstubers, making friends with some stitchers in the in Instagram, and also making friends some of making friends with stitchers in the different groups in Facebook, and of course, meeting friends here in the Philippines, or meeting online friends here in the Philippines, since I haven't met uh, any of my Stitchy friends here in the Philippines, and I am very happy that I've been friends with them because I've learned so much more about cross stitching and somehow enabled me to try uh, new uh, things or charts uh, in cross stitching. So it has been uh, what you call this? My stitchy preference has has evolved for the past 2 years. So you will see how uh, my stitching preference evolve when I will be sharing to you my 35 whips on this video. So, but before that, if you are new here, this video is all about cross stitching, and if you are into cross stitching, so please do subscribe. And for my new subscribers, for the past 2 months that uh, I haven't put up a video, welcome to my Flosstube channel, and thank you for clicking that subscribe button, and I hope you have liked the videos what you have seen on the previous videos that I made, and especially, and of course, my existing and my returning viewers. Thank you very, very much for supporting me throughout the 2 years that I have been existing here in the Flosstube channel. Thank you for the likes, thank you for the comments, and uh, thank you very much. So without you, my channel will not grow, and uh, you have been uh, enabled and inspired me to uh, continue doing uh, Flosstube video updates. So enough of that one, I might cry. So let us go now to my whips. So I have 35 whips, and if you happen to watch my previous video, I've shared to everyone 8 whips that I've um, UFO'd. So those were not already included in 35, and out of that 8, I think 2 were totally scrapped already, but the 6 are still intact and waiting for me to decide if uh, one of those UFO projects will be included in my whips. But so far, no decisions yet, so they are still in the UFO mode. So let us, but before I give you I share to you my um, 35 whips. Let me share to you first my finishes. Let's start with my first finish this year, 2023. Then this is from Alfor's Embroidery, and this is one of their bird series release, and this is Red Cardinals. So I've started this one on, let me check on my Excel or my spreadsheet file, September 11, 2022, and I finished this one last April this year. And this is now the finished Red Cardinals. So already washed, and this is stitched on an 18 count Aida fabric, and I use the DMC color conversions. I haven't used the variegated threads from the Alforest. So this is my first finish. My second finish is another bird series release from the Alforest Embroidery, and this is Bullfinches. I started this one on the last month of December. Let me see, December 30, 2021, and I finished it last April 19 this year. And this is now the finished Bullfinches. So again, I've used the DMC conversion, and then I've also changed some of the colors here, that instead of using the B5200 or the white um, thread, I use a bit of a uh, darker, lighter, darker one. There you go. To make this Flosstuversary, or this video special, I am sharing to you again my Fancy Lady finishes. Although I have finished four, four, yes, four Fancy Lady this year, but I want to share again this uh, beautiful finishes of mine uh, that would somehow celebrate my 2 years here in the Flosstube world. The first one is, this is my first Mirabilia finished and my first Mirabilia whip or project, and this is Aphrodite Mermaid. So I decided to purchase this one because I've checked it. It only has 5 bead colors, and then uh, I love the colors of it. So here's my finished um, Aphrodite Mermaid. I haven't um, framed all of my fancy lady whips, but in the future maybe I'll be doing that one. So this is now, there you go. So this is stitched on 16 count Aida fabric white. So this is the first time that I have used beads and used the crinics. There you go. So this was finished on, I think, 2021, or yes. Next is when I when I was searching for more Mirabilia patterns, I stumbled upon this pat this chart, and my eyes were, what do you call this, went wide when I saw the name of, or the brand name of this chart, which is Bella Filipina. I haven't, what you call this, expected that there was a uh, chart, or yes, a chart company that is from the Philippines. So this is my first whip, and of course their first release of their Bella Filipina, and this is um, Rosa Mystica. So I was very happy that there is a Filipino cross stitch brand like this one. So it has a sentimental value, and because this is where I connect uh, my when it comes to my heritage, my culture, the traditions as a Filipino, I I am very connected with here. I can relate the what is happening on the, or the inspiration behind this beautiful um, chart. So this is Rosa Mystica. This is my first Bella Filipina project and my first Bella Filipina release. I mean, finish. And this is stitched on an 18 count Ada fabric, so I haven't known yet that most of the fancy ladies are stitched on 32, 28, 14, and 16 counts. But luckily, I've managed to fit in some of the beads, so I need to put out some of it just to just to uh, fit. So this is my Rosa Mystica. Next is my second Mirabilia finish, and this is one of their queens, and this is the Autumn Queen. And this is now my finished Autumn Queen. Sorry for the fabric. There you go. So this is stitched on a 16 count Ada fabric. During this time, I was not yet interested on the hand dyed and colored fabric, so that's why uh, most of my early finishes of my fancy ladies are stitched on a white fabric. So this is the Autumn Queen. So my dream is to finish all of the four season queens, including the royal holiday. So hopefully I can finish two this year, the summer queen and the spring queen. You will see it later, the progress of those two. So this is the autumn queen, finished last year. So this is my favorite out of the four. Favorite from the four, I mean. Next is from Bella Filipina, and it's their second um, release, and this is Reina de las Flores, and this is now. So I finished this one also last year. There you go. The arc is very, very, intricate, and I've spent many days finishing the stitches as well as the beads. Somehow complicated, but I managed to finish it. There you go. Next is another Bella Filipina, and this is their third release, and this is Reina Paz. And I also finished this one last year, and this is it. So first, this is also my first time using the bugle beads. There you go. So this is stitched on 16 count Ada fabric white. So I'm still thinking how will I store it so that the fabric will not get crumpled. So when I've ironed it a while ago so that it looks a bit good. Okay, next. So these are my 4 finishes. So aside from the two Owl Forest finish, this year I have 4 Fancy Lady uh, finishes. So I have a total of 6 finishes so far this year. And the first Fancy Lady finish this year is um, a Midsummer Night's Fairy. And this is the finish. Good electric fan. Please cooperate. There you go. So I've started this one February 29 last year 2022 and finished April this year. There. So this is stitched on a 16 count light blue Zweigart fabric. So as you can see, I am starting to use colored but a lighter color. There you go. Next finish, what happened to my hair, is a mermaid, my second mermaid. This is Deepest Love, and this is now the finished Deepest Love. I've stitched this one on a lighter color, but I decided to um, restart it on this uh, pewter gray Zweigart 16 count fabric so that this one, the shawl, will be seen, and finally looks it popped out. There you go. So this is Deepest Love from Mirabilia. Next finish is Mermaid of the Pearls. This is one of my dream project. I've seen this one on one of the videos of Miss Luda, and I was very amazed and intrigued on this um, mermaid because of the beads that were used, and luckily I managed to purchase this one on my one of my local online Nilo workshop. So I'm happy that I have this one, and I'm very happy now that I've finished these. And this is now the Mermaid of the Pearls. So I want to see show it. There you go. Look at those beads. My gosh. So this is stitched on a 16 count pewter gray Zweigart fabric. There you go. Last look. And my last finish is from Bella Filipina, and this is Portrait of Maria Clara. By the way, I forgot to tell the details. From Deepest Love, I've started February 28, 2022 and finished April 7. For Mermaid of the Pearls, I've started June 12, 2022 and finished it June 17 last month. And then Portrait of Maria Clara started last March 2022 and finished uh, July 3. So this is my latest finish. And this is a big project. And this is now Portrait of Maria Clara. CH. There you go. So before I did the beading, I washed it so that it looks clean. And this is stitched on 16 count white Ada fabric. Look at that one. There you go. So those are my fancy lady finishes. Fancy lady finishes. And lastly, to commemorate my Flosstuversary 2 years, I want also to share my first full coverage project. Somehow it would inspire those who are watching right now to continue stitching, and someday you will finish a heaven and earth design project. And this is the mini sunset in Venice by Dominic Davison. There you go. This is my first full coverage finish, my first heaven and earth design finish. This is stitched on a 14 count Ada, uh, 2 threads. I used 2 threads for this one. So this was finished October 2021. So the uh, those were the days where I monogamously stitched this one. So I think after 5 months I finished it. There you go. So those are my finishes. So let us start now sharing my whips. First up are my 2021 whips. I have 9 whips. So the first one is a full coverage. I mean, the first one is a full coverage project, and this was uh, what do you call this? I've uh, created the chart in Pictopat, and this is Black Phoenix, and this is where I am now with the Black Phoenix. So far this year I haven't touched this one. Supposed to be this was my focus project, but as you can see, my stitchy preference has evolved from full coverage to fancy ladies, so that's the reason. So this is stitched on 14 count Ada fabric 2 by 1. So I am, I think 70 or 6, less than 70% of this one. Next is another full coverage, and this is from Heaven and Earth Design, and this is uh, designed by Amy Stewart, and this is how it looks when it is finished. This is Bird Garden, and this is where I am with the bird garden. So I think I'm this is stitched on an 18 count Ada fabric, and what I love about this chart is the effect on the sky, or the colors of a sky. There you go. Next whip number 3 for 2021 is a TMC Philippines chart, and this is from DMC Inspirations, DMC Philippines, and this is a bouquet of flowers. And this is where I am with the bouquet of flowers. I've restarted it on in 16 count Ada fabric, and this is where I am right now. Okay. Next is a full coverage project. This is designed again by Amy Stewart from Heaven and Earth Design, charted by Heaven and Earth Design, and this is the Beachcomber's Bounty. I've started this one 2021, but I restarted it in a different fabric, which is 16 count. I restarted it last year, and this is now the progress of it. So instead of what do you call this, starting at the left corner, I've started at the right corner. So this is the progress. There you go. 2021 is a year of full coverage. So another full coverage start that year is a chart from Heaven and Earth designed by Michael Hayes, and this is Awakening. Again, I've restarted this last year, but I considered it a whip from 2021, and this is the progress. This is stitched on 16 count Aida fabric. Next is another full coverage from Heaven and Earth Design, and this is designed by Donna Gelsinger, and this is the Mini Deer Creek. And this is now the progress. I restarted also this one on a 16 count Aida fabric, and this is my progress. So when I started my Flosstube last 2021, and I also restarted my interest in stitching restarted last 2021, last April 2021, and I was fascinated with the full coverage because of Darren, the Dizzy Stitcher, and the Stitchketeers. They enabled me and somehow influenced me on starting full coverage projects. And this is one of the chart, the mini deer creek. Next is another full coverage. This is Bird Song, and this is from Tatiana Fedorova, and this is a no background version. Another restart last year, but started 2021, and this is where I am with the Bird Song. There you go. Next is from DMC Philippines, and this is they released this series. There were 4 charts, and one of the series is the Harvest Moon, and this is where I am with the Harvest Moon. This is stitched on an 18 count black Aida fabric. And there you go. So as you can see, the fabric is a bit, you can see, transparent. So thin. And the last whip that I had last 2021 is another Moon series from DMC Philippines, DMC Inspirations. This is Moon River. And still stitched on an 18 count black Aida fabric, and this is the progress. A small progress. There you go. So hopefully for the remaining months of 2023, I would hope that I can touch the 2 months, the DMC Philippines whips. I plan to finish it. Hopefully this year or next year, but it depends upon my mood. No, as other stitchers do, sometimes they like to stitch this one, sometimes they don't. Depends upon their mood. So those are my whips for 2021. So let us go now with my 2022 whips. So if you're wondering, I am wearing a headset. Actually, I was uh, refilming twice for the 2022 and 2023 portion. Unfortunately, the audio or the voice, yes, the is not quite uh, loud. So just to make it sure that you can hear clearly my voice, so I am wearing this now. So for 2022 whips, I have how many? I forgot. 15. I have 15 starts in 2022, although as I remember, uh, there were UFOs that I've started uh, last year, so it would be around uh, almost 20. But right now I have 15. So the first whip is a started this one January 1. So this was my new start in 2022. This is a chart from Heaven and Earth Design, and this is designed by Yvonne Gilbert, and this is um, Princess Asleep. So the progress is this is the progress. So this is stitched on 16 count Ada fabric. I also restarted this one from 18 count to 16 count. So this is the progress so far. Next is an Alforest embroidery chart, which is the black vintage sampler. And this is now the progress of black vintage sampler. So this is stitched on 18 count Ada fabric. So hopefully in the future I will be adding more motifs on this one. I love this uh, chart. Next is a Mirabilia chart. This is the Winter Queen. So this is my second season Queen whip, and so far this is my progress of her. This is stitched on 16 count Ada fabric. So all of my season queens are stitched on a white. And then I didn't use the whisper thread. Instead of using it, I uh, used two threads of uh, white um, thread, the blank. So hopefully I will finish this one this year. That's my goal for her. Next is Alforest embroidery, and this is the vintage kitchen. I joined a sale from my local Facebook group, and this is the whip that I've what do you call this? I've joined in. with a sal. So far, this is the progress of my vintage kitchen stitch on 18 count. I use the thread number 407 and 382223. I hope I'm correct with this, but I'm sure it's 407. So this stitch on 18 count, and this one is, I wanted also to finish this one. I tried to bring it at work and stitch it during lunchtime. Why not? Next is my third season queen of Mirabilia, which is the um, Spring Queen. And this is my progress of my Spring Queen. I hope I'm showing it not too fast. I want to have this video at least an hour. So this is the progress of my Spring Queen. So I'm almost finished with the first half of the page of a chart. And another goal is to finish her this year. Next is a Bella Filipina chart. This is Reina Mariposa. I've started this one on a 16 count Zweigart fabric cream. I accidentally spilled a coffee. I guess, yes, I think a coffee, and I've washed it and washed it, and the stain is there permanently. So what I did is I decided to restart it on another fabric. This time I tried to dye my own fabric, which is 14 count, and this is the result. And this is where I am, just a small start. So this is my fabric that I hand dyed. I enjoyed uh, doing that process, the hand dyeing process, the dyeing process every time. Next is a Mirabilia chart. Let's fix my hair first. This is an OOP chart, which is Sleeping Beauty. Unfortunately, when I am organizing all my whips, I can find it. I I cannot find it. I don't know where is it. Where is Sleeping Beauty? Maybe she's sleeping somewhere in the corner of my room. So if you're listening or watching this video, Miss Sleeping Beauty, please come out. Joke. Maybe I'll be posting a picture from my Instagram on the progress of Sleeping Beauty. Next is Bella Filipina, another Bella Filipina chart, which is the Queen Flower Fairy. And I am almost finished with this one. I already started putting out the beads on her face. I mean, no, yes, look at that one. Look, that shiny, shiny bling bling on her face, just like a crown. So far, I am on the beading process. Hopefully, I can finish this one next month. And you will know later the reason why I didn't finish it yet. Next is another Bella Filipina chart. This is Aquila, the Queen of the Skies. And this is the first time that I've purchased a picture this plus fabric, or I purchased three, and this is the first fabric, which is 16 count, and this is Gothic. I hope I'm correct. And this is the progress of my Aquila. Wait, there you go. After hand dyeing. So I measured it. It is now 17 count. And when it comes to Bella Filipina designs, they are fully beaded or heavy beaded or beads galore. So I will be expecting that there will be a struggle on putting out the beads. So for now, I've stopped it and rethink what will I do, if I'll continue this one or I'll restart it to another um, higher fabric count, higher 14, or yes, 14 count. I don't know. So status quo. Next is Nereid Galatea, another Bella Filipina um, chart. And this is another picture this plus fabric. And this is the progress. This is Phantom, I guess the name of the fabric from Picture This Plus. Again, 16 count becomes 17 count after hand dye. So uh, I am thinking that I will not be using beads. Instead, using, I'll convert it into threads. So let's see if that decision will still be going on. But for now, that's the progress of Nereid Galatea. And next is another Bella Filipina. So I was an addict of a new starts of Bella Filipina. So this is Aqua Marina, and this is why the reason why I didn't finish the Queen Flower Fairy yet, because I've stitched this one for 2 weeks. Supposed to be I'll be finishing the Queen Flower Fairy, but I was stuck on stitching this one because look how beautiful she is. So I'm on the stitching on the tail part. So maybe after finishing all the stitches of Aquamarine, I'll go back to Queen Flower Fairy and finish the beading, and then I'm going back to her to finish also her. So that's Aquamarina. Next is a new start, birthday start, and this is from Mirabilia, and this is um, Rose Celebration. This is my first birthday start, and I've stitched this one to another picture. This plus, I can't remember anymore the name of the fabric, but it's a bit lighter, so I coffee dyed it, and this is the result. Experiment, experiment. And I don't know about the outcome of my stitches here. The fabric is very soft. I think I preferred fabrics that are a bit stiff so that I can control my stitching or my excess. And as you can see, it's very confetti. So that's why I only have this progress for Rose Celebration. But I'm excited to go on her face and on the dress also. My next birthday new start is Summer Queen, completing the stitching the seasonal queens of Mirabilia. So this is Summer Queen, and this is the progress. So most of my fancy ladies, I wanted to start first uh, putting out the face. So that's why, if you have observed my fancy lady whips, I usually started at the tip of their hair and then going to their faces. So this is the progress. I don't know if I can finish this one this year, probably next year. But I wanted to finish first the spring and the um, winter. Next is another Bella Filipina, which is Goddess Aphrodite. And I've stitched this one on a 32 count Murano fabric, previously on a Picture This Plus, but I found this fabric and this is how she looks so far. So I made a mistake over here. I didn't identify it yet, but I felt that there's a mistake. So I'm coming back on her and finding out where is the mistake, and I expect there will be fragging on this one. And my very last new start in 2022 is the Royal Holiday, or the Christmas Queen. And this is stitched on a 16 count Ada fabric, and this is where I am with the Royal Holiday. See, another finished face. So those are my 2022 whips. So let us go now to my 2023 whips, or new starts on 2023. I have, I think, 11. So my new start is an Alfor's embroidery, and this is golden bees, and this is the picture. And this is where I am with the golden bees. Again, I haven't used their variegated threads, only the DMC color conversion. So far, this is my progress. This is stitched on a 16 count Ada fabric. In the month of February, I've joined the SAL of DMX Crafty Vortex, and her friend Anna. Uh, that is February, hashtag February, is Fancy Lady February, wherein every week uh, a stitcher can start a new Fancy Lady. So it's either a Mirabilia or a Bella Filipina or Joan Elliott or any other Fancy Lady. So I've joined their SAL, and on the first week of February, I've started this Nora Corbett Pixie Blossom collection, which is geranium. This is gifted by Vanna Pfeiffer. Thank you very much, along with other um, charts. Thank you. She's very, very kind. And this is where I am with geranium. This is stitched on a 16 count um, light blue Zweigart fabric. So far I am here. This is my first Nora Corbett whip. So far I am focused on finishing her dress. So there's no wings yet. Her arms are not there, as well as her feet, legs and feet. So a possible finish this year, I don't know. Next is uh, second week of Fancy Lady February is Azotea from Bella Filipina, and this is my progress. This is for stitch on a 32 count Murano even weave, and this is my progress. So as you can see, I haven't started stitching her face because it's difficult to to get the exact uh, square to start on her hair or her face. So that's why I started on the vines of the rose, which is the most upper part of the pattern. But as you can see, you have there the panuelo or the sleeves of azotea, or yes. So maybe in the next coming Flosstube updates, you will see her face. Next is third week of Fancy Lady February. This is Magwayan. I've joined the stitch along of Teresa Little Stitcher, which is hashtag Teresa Made Me Do It Sal, where some of the stitchers are, we're starting this one in the month of January. This is Magwayan, and I've stitched this one on a 32 count Murano Iris even weave white iris. So it's a sparkly fabric, and this is my progress so far. Look how elegant she looks. So supposed to be, this was not my plan on starting her. Unfortunately, supposed to be it was the Lady of the Mist of Mirabilia. Unfortunately, the fabric for Lady of the Mist is not available, and then this fabric is available, so I decided to use this fabric to Magwayan. And the last week of Fancy Lady February new start is Maria Makiling. So for Fancy Lady February, I think it's either you will make a new start every week, or you can stitch a Fancy Lady whip. So this is how it looks like, the progress of Maria Makiling. This is stitched on another 32 count Murano even weave. So uh, I am liking even weave fabrics when it comes to stitching based on experience. So if I will be choosing linen from even weave, I will choose even weaves. That's what I preferred to stitch. So those are my new starts for February for the Fancy Lady February sale. Next is I started a full coverage. This is charted from Heaven and Earth Design, and another inspiration or another enabler Flosstuber, which is one of the Stitch Kitty's Jemima the Rocking Stitcher. If you happen to watch her videos, her recent um, focus piece, which is a supersize max color uh, waterhole master. So this is so far the progress of my waterhole master. So far you can't see any animals here. Next, I've tried to design my cross stitch pattern from Floss Cross, and this is the my first ever made cross stitch pattern, and I've named it cross stitch tools. So if you happen to like it, or if you're interested to purchase it, you can message me on my Instagram account, James the Page Teacher, or on my Facebook page, also James the Page Teacher. I will be putting out the links of my on where you can message me. Also, you can email me also, or you can comment down below on how to purchase and get this um, pattern. So as I've said on my previous video, you can change the colors that you like. Instead of these colors, you can change it. You can add your name here, or you can stitch your name here or over here, or maybe you can change something to make it uh, personalized. So that's what is my, what do you call this, purpose of uh, designing this one, is to let you stitch it and make it your personal, or add with your personal touch. So I have also another I've created another new pattern, which is Birds of Paradise. So just look out my Facebook page, and this is the progress. I've stitched this one on an 18 count Ada fabric. So far this is my progress. um Maybe in the future I'll be using this one on my Stitch With Me live. Next is an Owl Forest Embroidery, another series from them, and this is from the lace frame birds, and this is crossbill birds, and I think they have another two patterns of this one. What I like about this is the border lace. As you can see, the thread color is white, so I decided to change it to another color so that it will pop. And I've used the 16 count Aida Rustico fabric, and this is now the progress. So it's also first time stitching this kind of stitches, the leaves. This is a mistake. I need to frog this one. So another contender for a finish this year. Next is Queen Sari from Bella Filipina. And I used my own hand-dyed fabric for this one, which is 14 count. And so far, this is my progress. So at first, I was nervous stitching her face because all of my fancy ladies were stitched on uh, 16 count one thread, and then since this is 14 count, I need to stitch it on two threads, and I think it went okay with her face. What do you think? So this is Queen Sari from Bella Filipina. And lastly, another Flosstuber that I was inspired and enabled me to start this one is Samantha, the Yuga Stitcher. I hope I pronounce it correctly. Aside from the fancy lady she is stitching, she also had these Al Forest whips, which are the yearly stitch along. And she mentioned one of her videos that she plans to uh, stitch all of yearly sal of the Al Forest. And I think, yes, I think why not? So to start off with the stitching all of the yearly sal, so I've started last June the Emerald City, and so far this is my progress. Oops, sorry, that's the back of the fabric. There you go. So still I am using the color conversion DMC, and it's very colorful. And I have started stitching the Emerald Castle. So this is stitched on a 18 count Ada fabric. So that's Emerald City, and lastly, last but not the least, it's another sal from Alfor's Embroidery. I think this is 2021 yearly sal, and this is Alice in Wonderland. I don't have the finished picture, but this is the progress so far. So I needed to finish stitching the upper border, so that I can uh, make sure that it fits the fabric, and luckily it's correct. So I am now going on this part, which is the first part of the sal, but I need to stitch this one and also this one. So I'm excited to add more of the parts of the Alice in Wonderland. So those are my whips for, or my new starts for 2023, and that is my mid-year whip parade. I hope you liked what you have seen so far of the progress of my whips and also my finishes. If you Please like this video. If you want to comment down below or ask something, you can comment down below, and I'll be um, putting out the name of my whips on the description, and also the links where you can um, contact me if ever you are interested on something. So plan for my next Flosstube video. I will not be having the two uh, Flosstube updates per month because I am targeting to finish one whip per month. So I will be doing a monthly Flosstube video update. So you will be seeing me in the last week of August.